so you've done Collider stuff, like I said. You've done your podcast stuff. You've popped up over a bunch of different places. Like, I mean, you are literally everywhere. But I'm a big movie fights fan. I'm a big movie fights fan. And I really enjoyed watching you on there before you rose in prominence to Schmodown. And so I told myself if I made this happen, I was gonna regret it if I didn't. But I was like, because I do games at the beginning of all my podcasts. Yes, and I forgot to mention, this is uncensored. Say whatever the hell you want.
Okay.
But yeah, I was like, I gotta bring it up. I can't challenge you to a Schmodown because you would wipe the floor with me. I'm not a movie trivia guy. However, I've been watching Screen Junkies movie fights since it started. So I want to do just a little mini, just a little a movie spar. I know you're a competitive guy and I'm a competitive guy. So I mean, we'll see what happens with this, but a movie spar, if you will. So we'll just do one round and we're gonna do this fight, and I'm gonna let the fans decide. This is I'm gonna put this out as a little teaser for the podcast episode. People will kind of see us duke it out a little bit. You down for that?
Mm-hmm. Let's make it happen.
All right. To make this fair, I had my roommate prepare questions. He prepared 2 questions just in case if I don't like one of them. I did not see them. He sealed them to prove that I sealed them.
Okay.
This is American Psycho. I have a tattoo right here. It's my second favorite movie ever. So
what? Wow. Okay.
Yes, and I would never disrespect this movie. So I put the questions in here to guarantee that I was not gonna cheat. Okay.
All right.
So this is 100% fair, guys. So we are going to do it movie fight style. For those of you who don't know, Screen Junkie movie fights, it's where you argue nerdy movie stuff. That's pretty much what you do.
Mm-hmm.
And we both kind of open up. We do a little back and forth, and then usually there's a judge to decide it. But today you guys will be the judge on Twitter, on YouTube, and Facebook. You guys will decide who the winner is. So I'm going to open this up now. We're going to see what these questions are. You didn't know what you were getting into today, did you?
No, I did not. No.
I had to. Okay.
A nice peaceful interview, but no.
You're like, man, this could be laid back, and oh man, but no, this is for fun because I just love shooting the shit movies. So I have 2 questions here. Let me take a sec to read these real quick. Okay, they're both Oscar related, so they're pretty much around the same premise, and I'm gonna go with the second one that's actually more movie related. So the question is, if you could trade one movie from the Best Picture category with another film that wasn't selected for Best Picture, what would that movie be? So I'll give you a sec.
Is that for this year?
Huh?
Is that for this year or ever?
This is for this year's Oscars. In honor of the Oscars this upcoming weekend. That good job by my roommate. He actually, this is a plug because we're doing a live stream of the Oscars. We're doing a watch party. But yeah, so in honor of the Oscars, I'll let you take a sec. I already have an answer because my number 1 film of the year was not nominated. So I already have an answer.
I'm ready whenever you are.
All right. Well, I'll guess I'll go ahead and go first, so that way you can still have a little time to gather your thoughts. Because I swear I didn't have this prepared, guys. I swear this has just been I've been seething though since the Oscar nominations came out. And so the movie I'm going to take out, so the question is, guys, to repeat the question that we're about to brawl it out for a second with is, if we could remove a Best Picture nomination from this year and then replace it with one that was not selected, what would it be? And like I said, so my number 1 movie of the year was not nominated. It was only nominated for, I believe, only 1 award this year, which is a travesty. So I picked the movie Nocturnal Animals. Nocturnal Animals, you can see the poster behind me, is my favorite movie of this year. Tom Ford came out of nowhere. Like, this is a fashion designer, Tom Ford, and he had only directed 1 film before that, and I hadn't seen A Single Man until a few weeks ago. Nocturnal Animals is on a storytelling level, guys. It has this story within a story. To not spoil the film, it has a story within a story, and you have really 3 different storylines going on. And the way that Tom Ford was able to juggle all that going on top of getting the performances they got out of this crazy ensemble cast. You had Amy Adams in the lead, Jake Gyllenhaal, Michael Shannon, and the stealer of this film, one of my favorite villains of all time. I'm gonna put him up there. Like, I know it's still really recent, but Aaron Taylor Johnson really knocks it out of the park in this movie. He is unrecognizable, and the fact that he at least isn't even nominated after winning the Golden Globes, they nominate Michael Shannon. But I would take out Lion, and the only reason I'm saying I'm going to take out Lion because that's still the only Best Picture nomination that I haven't seen. So I would take out Lion, and I would replace it with Nocturnal Animals, because Nocturnal Animals is a visual spectacle. The score is fantastic, and just the performances are out of this world as well. So Nocturnal Animals, that will be my pick that I would replace in the Oscars this year. Take out Lion just because I haven't seen it, and throw in Nocturnal Animals because it definitely deserves more love.
Nice. All right, so what are the choices for Best Picture, right? You have Lion,
Yep,
Arrival, La La Land, what else? Manchester by the Sea?
Moonlight,
Hacksaw
Ridge.
Okay, I would take out Hacksaw Ridge.
Hell or High Water's in there as well.
I love Hell or High Water.
I know you co-starred
Hacksaw
in
Ridge,
it.
Yeah, it doesn't get good until the battle happens. So I would replace it.
I actually like the first half of Hacksaw Ridge better.
Do you? I don't know why. I've been in the military. Let me tell you, that was all ridiculous. So for me, I would say Sing Street.
Oh, okay.
Absolutely. I would throw Sing Street in there over Deadpool. I know Deadpool's fantastic. Look, but I think Sing Street is something we haven't seen in a while. And it's such a good, well-written film about coming of age in the 80s. And the music and the way it's done is not necessarily conventional. And the ending is almost 70-ish, like 70s movies. Like it's almost like the end of The Graduate. Like they're going towards this dream, but they're not sure if they're going to be together. They're not sure what's going to happen. They're not sure what's going to end up with them. But the music is fantastic. The writing is so good. And the acting is fantastic from the beginning, where we meet this kid and he finds his friends, and then there's like the guy who's in charge, the mean principal, the stuff he's dealing with his family, with his brother who's trying to guide him. You know, these could easily fall into caricatures, but instead these are layered, nuanced performances from these fantastic actors who really bring a lot of weight to these parts. And so the connection that happens between these characters when they have their pivotal moments in the movie are more powerful than they would be with some throwaway film. That this genre, these like kind of coming of age movies have at times. But this one resonates more, and the music is great. Drive It Like You Stole It should have been the summer hit of the season, but it never really caught on, which is insane to me. And the direction is well done too. You know, but there's a softness to it. There's a vulnerability to it. There's a touch to it that you don't see in a lot of films. And I think it really hits all the right emotional notes and moves you. And I've seen this like affect people of multiple generations, like grandfathers, mothers, and kids. You know, I've talked to people in person and people on Twitter who crow about how much they love this movie when they discover it on Netflix, or they go see it in the theater because a friend of theirs recommended it. So that's the one that I would say.
All right. This is gonna be tough for me. We'll just do one rebuttal and we'll do a quick closing, and then that'll be that, and then we'll let the people decide from there. So, okay. But the way I'm gonna have to rebuttal this is because Sing Street was my #1 movie of the year until I saw Nocturnal Animals. Or no, I saw Arrival. I saw Arrival, which knocked off Sing Street, and then I saw Nocturnal Animals, which knocked off Arrival. So Sing Street at one point was my favorite, and you are everything you said. It is a feel-good movie, like by definition. I mean, the music, everything about it. But the reason I would not put it in the Oscars over Nocturnal Animals is because it is a very simple movie. It's a very sweet movie, but it is kind of a story we've seen before. Not that the story wasn't done well by Sing Street, because that's what really sets it apart. But it's a movie that we've seen before. Nocturnal Animals is something completely original. It's one of the most original movies of the year. I know it is a little bit weird, and the Oscars tend to stay away from weird, but I think they're slowly starting to get there. I think Nocturnal Animals would have been a good stepping point to start getting there, because it is a drama but wrapped up in horror elements. And I think especially this past year with so many good horror movies, and we thought maybe The Witch would have been recognized, but Nocturnal Animals could have been that horror movie that was represented in the Oscars this year, just because it only has a touch of it. So that's the reason I'd put Nocturnal Animals above Sing Street, because it's something we haven't seen before, and it's progression for the Oscars, I think.
Mm-hmm. So you're saying we've never seen a gritty film where we see people like turn on each other and explore the gritty underbelly of human condition and behaviors in certain moments? Is that what you're trying to tell me? That we've never seen that film before, ever?
I think
the way your mind,
the revenge aspect, I think was just especially because of the levels of storytelling. So you have 3 different revenge lines going on. I think that is that in itself is something that we've never seen.
But we've seen revenge stories, like Sicario was one that was really well done last year that didn't get recognized, which was the top 10's favorite film of the year last year, both Matt Nost and I. But I would counter this. If you think it's easy to make a film from the Sing Street genre stand out the way it does, you're crazy. Because the line you walk between schmaltz and cheese is so thin nowadays, because we're so much more skeptical, we're so much more bitter, we're so much more questioning, and we don't want to care as much. But that film makes we see with the mean headmaster, which of course has kind of allusions to these headmasters that sexually abused kids back during that time. There's all this stuff that's running, this undercurrent that's running through this depression of finance, financial stuff, the poverty, the fact that they can't, the fact his brother is a kind of a mess up because of drugs and depression. Like, all this stuff is dancing underneath. And this girl comes from a broken home, creating her own, ideology to live so she doesn't kill herself or become a prostitute or become some slave to some, asshole older guy to get used and probably turned out as a trick at some point. She finds a way out. So there's more than this isn't just a bunch of kids getting together, putting a band together. There's a lot going on with these characters underneath the surface that's layers deep, that speaks to a desperation that could have led to these all being like very sad, depressed people. But because his love for her is strong, because at that age, that's how it is. Love is like all consuming and the end of the world, right? If your first love is like that. And she still has a piece of her that wants to believe in something before she makes that turn into being depressed and sad. She believes in him too. And so when they take off, who knows what's going to happen, but at least there's a shot. That really matters.
Yeah, I think you are 100% correct. I mean, that the movie does what it's supposed to do. It is to make you feel, to see pieces of these people's lives and the way that the events transpire, changing them. They're changing their lives, from everything that's going around them. And I love that. I really do. But okay, here's the thing with Nocturnal Animals, though.
Wait, no, you had your rebuttal, though. You had one rebuttal. We each had one. This
is the closing. We each get a closing, and this is my closing.
Right.
So Nocturnal Animals, one, it's a technical marvel. Like, I'm so surprised, one, it didn't get more technical awards. The cinematography and the score of this movie is so haunting. I listen to the score like while I'm at work in the mornings. It is so haunting and beautiful, and really tells the story. The opening that people could not stop talking about after you go and see Nocturnal Animals for the first time. The opening just shocks you and lets you know what kind of movie this is going to be. It is it's super artsy. I do get that. Like, it is really artsy, and it might not be everybody's cup of tea. But, I mean, but the achievement that it does, I mean, the balance between the powerhouse performances of all the four leads, I'd say, are all fantastic. The balance of the storylines. This movie is so well balanced, paced. It's a technical marvel, like by film standards. Like if you are you appreciate film, you will be blown away by Nocturnal Animals, and that's why I think where it really separates from Sing Street. So that's my closing, guys. Mr. John Rocha, your closing argument.
I already gave it.
Oh, that's your closing?
I can't add any more.
You got no more.
I'm dropping the mic after that.
He dropped it, guys.
Yeah.
He dropped the mic. So that is it, guys. It is in your hands now. Who takes the win here, guys? What movie would you replace on the Oscars? I will put a poll up, and we will figure out who this winner is. But thank you, John Rocha, for being such an awesome sport for that, because I knew you wouldn't shy away from a challenge. I was going back and forth in my head, and I was like, do I do it? And I was like, no, I got to challenge him.